Hey, what's up you guys? It's Lexi Combs and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. Today I am going to be giving my parents' guest room a huge makeover on a budget. I'm trying to keep it under 200, closer to 150, but we'll see. I do need some larger furniture pieces, so that might kind of push it over, but I'm doing everything on a budget and trying to go to only stores that you would have accessible near you, like Walmart, Ross, Target, thrift stores, things like that. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Here's what the room looked like before. I started by taking the curtains down and letting some light into the room. Now, I do apologize because since I am using natural light, the light kind of keeps shifting. But then I went ahead and moved the bed to the center of the two windows, and it was a queen size bed, fit perfectly, which was awesome, and it just gave the room a lot more space. Then I moved this bus that my dad got for my future children. Not a subtle hint at all that he's ready for me to have kids. Thanks, Care Bear. And I moved his old desk in its position, and then I went ahead and made the headboard. Now, this headboard is renter friendly and super easy. It only ended up costing me around $22 to $25 to do. I got 3 poster boards from the dollar store and this foam roll from Walmart for about $15. And I put 3 of them together, and then I traced so it would be the exact width of the foam because I didn't want to cut the foam too much and I wanted it to be as tall as it could be. And then I went ahead, I didn't have an X-Acto knife, so I just used my scissors to kind of score it. Now, keep the pieces that you cut off because you're actually going to be hot gluing them to the back to attach all of the pieces together. We're not wasting anything here. So I lined them back up, and then, as I said before, I'm just taking those pieces and using them as kind of anchors, and I am hot gluing them between the boards for stability. Now, I recommend using Gorilla Hot Glue. It's my favorite. It is a little bit more pricey, but it definitely holds up a lot better than if you were to get hot glue sticks from the Dollar Tree. Then I flipped it over and I cut my foam roll to size. Now, I used a 1-inch thick foam roll. Walmart had 1/2 inch and 2 inches, so you can definitely choose what depth you'd like. But I thought that the 1-inch was a good in between and would give enough support if you were to sit up against it. And then I just hot glued the entire thing, making sure I'm pressing down but not too hard so that the foam sticks to the foam board. I should also mention that I measured the foam boards to fit a queen size bed, which was about 60 inches. So if you have a different size bed, definitely measure to make sure that you're having enough. And then I just got some fabric from Walmart and I stapled it to the back. Make sure you pull it really tight so that you don't have any weird creases. I went back and cut off all of the excess, and I did secure it additionally with some hot glue just because the staples weren't extremely secure, just because it is into foam board and not wood. Now onto curtains. I think that this is the most dramatic change of the room. I like to use white curtains or light colored curtains just to let in more light. These curtain rods my parents already had. They're really cool. You can actually just pop them straight into the window. You don't need to screw them into the wall. So if you're not very handy with power tools, I definitely suggest getting some tension ones like this. I got these white curtain shears from the Goodwill for only $5, and it came with 4 of them, and they're actually Martha Stewart brand, and then my husband helped me hang them up. Now, this is the most expensive thing I got for the room. It's a marble side table, and I got it for $50 at Ross. I honestly think that it was such a good deal. Something like that would cost a lot more elsewhere. And then I just removed the pillows from the bed and I put the headboard up to just make sure that it was going to look good before I hung it. And then I got these command strips and I'm actually putting them together and then onto the back of the board, because since it is kind of flimsy poster board, I didn't want to press too hard on it and potentially crack it. And then I just hung it up on the wall with the command strips and the help of my husband. You'll see I am lightly pressing it onto the wall to secure the command strips. You don't want to press too hard, but again, because it is that poster board or that foam board, it is very lightweight and easy to hang up, and I had no issues with it staying on the wall with just the command strips. Another super inexpensive way to transform a room is by changing your bedding. I got this bedding set from HomeGoods for around $48. Now, I highly suggest checking Goodwill to see if they have anything you like, and then just washing it when you get home to make sure it's all clean. But if not, Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, places like that are gonna have a lot more affordable bedding, and it can change the entire look of the room. I then added some throw pillows that I thought were really cute and super comfy from HomeGoods, and it was $20 for a pack of 2. Now, I couldn't afford to get another marble side table, and also I couldn't find another one that would be slim enough to fit on the other side of the bed and allow the closet doors to still fully open. So I decided to make one from Dollar Tree, and it only cost me around $5. So I took 3 of their wire trash cans and I just zip tied them together. My camera actually died while I was doing the first part, but I put 1 in the middle and then 2 on the sides, and with the top one I'm securing it with 3. I went back and cut the excess off of the zip ties, and then I took it out to the garage and gave it a quick coat of spray paint, just so that you wouldn't be able to see the zip ties. Now, you could totally avoid this step if you got the black ones and used black zip ties, and then you probably really wouldn't notice because you can barely see them. I did spray paint this tray, but I didn't like the way that it turned out. That's initially what I was gonna use for the top, but you'll see here that I'm using E6000 and hot glue, and the reason I do that is for long-term security, but then short-term hold so it goes quicker, and I just hot glued one of their charger plates to the top of it, and I think it turned out really cute, and it's perfect for a small side table. Now on to my floral decor. I found this plant at Goodwill for $5, and I got these dried plants from Marshalls for $12.99. I barely used any of them, so I'm definitely gonna be keeping the rest to do some other projects. Now, these 3 little glass jars I got in Target's Bullseye dollar spot section, and it was literally $3 for 3 of those little glasses. So I just cut some of my dried florals and popped them in there. And I'm going to be using these dried florals again, so I did take off some of those pieces of eucalyptus, and you'll see what I do with them here in a moment for my next DIY. Now I'm taking my dollar store frame and I am just taking out the glass and putting some of my dried florals in there. It is a little bit more bulky, so you'll probably have to loosen those little prongs on the sides, but it only costs like $2 to do this, and I think that it is super cute. Here I am just wrapping up this old pillow that my parents had on the bed previously in some of the excess fabric that I used from the headboard, and I just kind of wrapped it into a pattern, no sewing required. Now, I didn't have the time or the tools to redo this desk fully like I initially was going to, but I got this throw from Goodwill for like $3 or $4, and I draped it over to kind of create like a dramatic tablescape that you would see in an event. And I put those dried florals that we made earlier on there, and I used this mirror that my parents actually have had for a really long time that was just kind of sitting in the closet still wrapped up from when they moved, and I put it up there and styled it with everything. Definitely check out what you already have and how it could be repurposed into a new space in your house. No ladder required when you and your husband are cheerleaders, so I popped onto his shoulders and he helped me put up this painting that my parents already had in that room onto the wall with some command strips. All right, you ready?
Oh, wow! I love it! This is so cool!
Ooh, look at this!